You're a mess. Come on, cut the crap.
I'm the best chance you've got.
Mel Gibson has been known for becoming an action star ever since he came out as the title character of George Miller's Mad Max 1979. He has also taken upon himself to star in other action movies as well. Dramas, period pieces, epics, and even the occasional romantic comedy. What is even more amazing is the fact that he can direct films as well. Mel Gibson was born January 3, 1956 in Peaksville, New York. He had 10 other siblings and was raised by his parents, Hutton and Ann Gibson. He was also raised as a Roman Catholic of Irish descent. His father took his family to Sydney, Australia due to the fear of his sons possibly being drafted into the Vietnam War. As a child, Mel Gibson attended an all-boys Catholic high school called Aquith Boys High School in New South Wales. After graduating from high school, Mel Gibson expressed his desire to dabble in the culinary arts by becoming a chef or perhaps major in journalism and becoming a writer. Nonetheless, he enrolled in the National Institute of Dramatic Arts in Sydney, Australia. During his time in the NIDA, he became involved in the stage production of Romeo and Juliet.
Right, there's nowhere to go. It's all there already, mate.
Yeah, but where's the security and surfing for the rest of you?
Around 1977, he starred in his debut performance in the film Summer City. After he graduated from the Institute, Mel Gibson joined the Southern Australian Theatre Company and appeared in classic productions of plays such as Henry IV. He had a successful stage career.
Has he been hurt?
Well, no, he's fine, physically at least. But I do have some bad news about him. Eddie is about to be court-martialed.
Despite the fact that he was an actor for the theater, he decided to make a name for himself in television. He landed his first role in the Australian series called The Sullivans. When it came to landing cinematic roles, 1979 was his biggest year. He starred in George Miller's low-budget and debut action film, Mad Max. Mel Gibson plays a title character who is a warrior in a post-apocalyptic world. The film became an international hit, making $100 million at the box office. The second role Mel Gibson starred in was Tim, where he played a mentally challenged man who falls in love with an older woman, played by Piper Laurie. Around 1981, Mel Gibson starred in Peter Weir's first World War movie, Gallipoli.
You mean what I like to order?
You from the city?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
Yeah. Well, we don't put on the dog up here.
The same year, he collaborated with George Miller again by returning to his role as Max in Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior. The film was regarded as one of the best sequels ever made. The following year, Peter Weir collaborated with Mel Gibson once again to star in The Year of Living Dangerously in 1982 with actress Sigourney Weaver.
What about dinner tonight?
No,
What about tomorrow night?
I'm busy all week.
Can't you ever eat?
Goodbye.
Mel Gibson had more recognition with American audiences when he starred in The River with Sissy Spacek. The movie earned 4 Oscar nominations, including Sissy Spacek's performance. A year later, Mel Gibson collaborated with George Miller for the third time by reprising his role as Max in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which also stars Tina Turner.
Ain't we a pair? Raggedy Man.
In 1987, Mel Gibson plays a suicidal cop Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon. Danny Glover plays Roger Murtaugh, his partner in crime, who isn't as reckless as Mel Gibson's character. The film became a box office hit and spawned 3 sequels for the franchise: Lethal Weapon 2 in 1989, Lethal Weapon 3 in 1992, and Lethal Weapon 4 in 1998. In the 1990s, Mel Gibson had an interesting decade trying a variety of genres. The actor started the decade by starring in Hamlet. Critics and audiences were impressed with the actor's performance as the mentally tortured prince.
Where you may see the inmost part of you.
What about you? They would not murder me.
In the same year, he appeared in Air America. 2 years later, he starred in Forever Young. A year later, he made his directorial debut in the movie The Man Without a Face, which he also starred as Justin McLeod, a heavily disfigured burn victim. In 1995, Mel Gibson also starred and directed his epic film Braveheart. He starred as a 13th century Scottish warrior, Sir William Wallace.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
The film brought attention to audiences, critics, and members of the Academy Awards. He received the win for Best Picture and Best Director. In the same year, Mel Gibson provided voice work as John Smith in the animated Disney film Pocahontas.
Wait. There's so much we can teach you. We've improved the lives of savages all over the world.
Savages?
Not
A year later, Mel Gibson also starred in Ron Howard's crime thriller, Ransom. He also starred in other crime thrillers such as Conspiracy Theory along with Julia Roberts and Payback in 1999.
Papa, please don't
Susan.
go.
I promise. I'll come back.
In 2000, he starred in Roland Emmerich's war movie The Patriot, which took place during the American Revolution. At the same year, he starred in the romantic fantasy comedy film What Women Want, taking on the role as a womanizer who has the ability to read women's minds. 2 years later, Gibson played a farmer and a father in M. Night Shyamalan's thriller Signs.
Meryl, swing away.
Critics and audiences enjoyed his performance since his character faces threats of aliens that are in his cornfields. In 2004, he returned to director's chair once again. This time, he wasn't in front of the camera. He directed Passion of the Christ, which told the story of the final 12 hours of Jesus Christ. The film caused controversy since it showed Jesus Christ's crucifixion in graphic detail. In 2006, he returned to director's chair by directing Apocalypto, which told the story of the declination of the Mayan civilization. The movie received praise for using an indigenous cast of Mexican and Native American actors and actresses, as well as having them speak in their Mayan language instead of having them speak in English. The film also had some controversy due to its graphic violence depicted in the movie. Nonetheless, it became a hit for 2006. In the 2010s, Mel Gibson returned to acting by starring in the crime thriller Edge of Darkness, playing a cop who investigates the murder of his daughter. In 2011, he played a suicidal man who copes with his sadness by using a hand puppet in Jodie Foster's The Beaver.
Can your mother stitch?
Afterwards, he returned to more action-driven films such as Robert Rodriguez's movies Machete Kills and The Expendables 3. In 2016, Mel Gibson released another directorial movie, Hacksaw Ridge, a war movie that took place during World War II.
Private Doss, you are free to run into the hellfire of battle without a single weapon to protect yourself. You may resume.
It focused on an army medic who saved 75 soldiers without using a gun. Mel Gibson received an Oscar nomination for his directing. Mel Gibson shows no signs of stopping from acting. Every once in a while, he would take an opportunity for directing epics. Mel Gibson has been one of Hollywood's most hardworking and controversial actors. He will always hold surprises for his fans regarding his acting work and his directorial efforts.